was like a kind of a score to our life together.
Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner never denied their relationship before she passed away, but people always had their suspicions that there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. Now it's time to uncover the truth about what their relationship was really about. So without wasting time, let's dive straight into it. The whole relationship between Whitney and Kevin started in the 1990s after they were cast to star in the movie The Bodyguard. At this point in time, Kevin was already pretty well known in the industry, and Whitney was well on her way to the peak of her singing career. Her career had just taken off in the 80s, and her debut album was doing wonders, not just because it contained tons of classic and hits, but also because of Whitney's unique spin on the songs with a voice that the music industry had never experienced before. It's crazy to think that their whole relationship almost never happened in the first place because neither of them was meant to play the lead roles in the very same movie that brought them together. Initially, the writer of the movie had his eyes on Diana Ross and Steve McQueen, but somehow all his plans for the cast fell through and Whitney and Kevin got the parts. What's interesting though is that after she was offered the role, Whitney was considering turning it down because during this time she was just getting into the best parts of her music career and she had never starred in a movie before, so she was pretty skeptical about the whole thing, especially because of the criticism that she knew would come her way. And she didn't think that throwing herself in a pool full of sharks was a movie that she needed to make, but somehow Kevin was able to convince her to accept the role. Apparently, he couldn't imagine anyone else playing it but her, and he made it clear that if she didn't do the movie, neither would he. His instincts were clearly right. When The Bodyguard hit the big screen, it quickly became a big hit, and all of Whitney's fears went away. The movie opened a whole new world of possibilities for Whitney. Even the people who were very skeptical about her casting couldn't deny the chemistry between her and Kevin. It was just explosive. They both played their characters so well that people started suspecting that whatever it was that was between them went far beyond them just playing characters. And just like that, the rumor about a secret relationship between Kevin and Whitney started spreading, and it never slowed down until the day Whitney passed away. According to Kevin, there was just something about Whitney, something that he just couldn't shake off, and he had this feeling even before he got to work with her. In his words, Whitney simply had it. I guess this and the fact that Whitney and Kevin had so many similarities between them was what made their chemistry so amazing. They both attended the Baptist church growing up, and they both had dreams of not becoming preachers. Even though they otherwise came from different backgrounds, this was enough to connect them on a really deep level. Now, even though Kevin and Whitney never actually admitted that there was something going on between them, sources close to them gave this impression. And with the way Whitney and Kevin acted around each other, they didn't do much to deny this. If anything, their behavior made people believe the rumor even more, especially after Whitney's addiction problems started spiraling out of control. According to Kevin, someone asked him if he would write a letter to someone he knew was struggling, and he took the question personally. He wrote 2 letters to Whitney, but he admitted that he was not sure if she read either one. This turned out to be part of the reason he blamed himself for Whitney's passing. Apparently, he believed that he could have done more for her and her struggles. Maybe he could have written more letters, or maybe he could have tried reaching out to her physically. But whatever the case may be, he just wished he'd done more than just send 2 letters. And because of this, he felt like he let Whitney down. In his words, he regretted that he wasn't there for her and didn't pay enough attention to her. This is a decision that he now has to live with for the rest of his life, especially because he believes that she saved his life and he couldn't return the favor. Kevin explained that Whitney was way more than a co-star to him from the get-go. Apparently, the world connected both of them in mysterious ways, and he never really understood just how connected they were until Whitney's funeral came around and he was asked to say something about her. This is very telling because there were so many notable people present at her funeral, but it was Kevin who was chosen to speak. In his eulogy, Kevin talked about how much Whitney had struggled with self-doubt, even though she was one of the most talented people to walk the earth. He explained that if Whitney could hear him then and there, then he would tell her that she wasn't just good enough, she was great. And then he went on to explain how people didn't just like Whitney, they loved her. After Whitney passed away, Kevin made an admission that stunned everyone, and at the same time made people wish that he had done it sooner. He admitted that Whitney was his one true love, but unfortunately he never acted on it. And now I guess we'll never know what might have happened if he acted on it. Would he and Whitney have gotten together? What do you guys think? Did you know about the intense bond that Kevin and Whitney shared? What do you think about him feeling guilty about what happened to her? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.